Hello and welcome back to A Better World. This is your host, Mitchell J. Rabin, and I'm very glad you're joining us again today. Today, we're going to have another very interesting show. I have invited a Mexican shaman who has been a leader in the field of the elders, the indigenous tribes across North and South America for many years. So it's a real pleasure and honor to have Mindahi on with us. Just a couple of words about him. He is the director of the Original Nations program of the Fountain, a caretaker of the philosophy and traditions of the Otomi-Toltec peoples, and an Otomi-Toltec ritual ceremony officer. He's a consultant with UNESCO on issues related to sacred sites and bioculture. So, Mindahi, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias por.
Mi placer,
Thank
huh?
you.
Mucho gusto. So, it's great to have you on. Please, if you would, you've got this rich tradition behind you that you've been part of generationally in your family, and you're carrying it on in a very important, beautiful way. And we're at a crossroads at this point in time, like maybe no other. Tell us a little bit about the work you're doing with the elders and to advance the wisdom that you've been embedded with in so many different ways over the past many years.
Yes, thank you so much again, Mitchell, for having me in this beautiful program. And I represent the Earth Elders. I'm the founder and convener, but just following prophecy. And we have been active for a couple of years, and there are three concentric circles. The first one is the Grand Council of the Eagle and the Condor, which was organized in the Mayan lands in a beautiful place near Chichen Itza. So we were there and we came together,
Nice.
especially from the Americas, because the prophecy was born in this continent. But it's not just for this continent, this call is for all the world. People from the south and the north, from the east and the west, coming together once again for reconnection, for regeneration, for the flourishing of life. So the kind of work we are doing with the Earth Elders is to give voice to this planet that we call Mother Earth
Mhm.
and to the beings, because we are just another species. And we call all other species or relatives. They are family. And that's the very reason we want to share with you that this sacred connection with nature, with ourselves, that we are nature, with the cosmos, is very meaningful. In that way, when you meet and you honor family, you take care and you give care about your family. And that's why this sacred relationship with the world, with other beings, is highly important. And that's why 80% of biodiversity of the world is in native lands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
God.
not, let's not take it for granted. It's a way of living, it's a way of doing, it's a way of feeling, it's a way of acting. So the Earth Elders is about remembering our sacred connection with the world, with entities, with the deities, with the guardians, with the caretakers, with the spirit world, but also with the material world, because we need to honor who we are. And we need to honor the family where we are born. And also bring back together the community, bring back together our territories and this collective dignity. So the work of the Earth Elders to bring back ancestral wisdom
Mm-hmm.
and to meet science, of course, but science is not going to save us. What it really is going to save us is how we care about each other.
Beautiful. Es verdad. Es verdad. There's so much being made of people's different colors and genders, and they use the word races. I say to people all the time in Dahi, there's one race, and it's the human race. And
Mhm.
just like you were saying, we are among many species. We're
Yes.
only one. Somehow we think we're the biggest or the best or superior.
Yeah.
Pero no es verdad. I don't believe it. I think we are among the trees and among the small ones and the creatures of all sorts. We like to think of ourselves as superior, but I think that there's a lot that shows that we are not. We don't have to go into all of that, but entiendes, claro, see. So, I appreciate all the points you're making, and the idea that the elders embody, as do
Mhm.
you, embody that wisdom. And you're always reminding, I like to say, just like the Kogi, your younger brothers who have sort of messed up this idea, which is largely, to be specific, the white male European who is the one with the greatest, and not only that group, there are others, but that group in particular has sought to dominate all of our beautiful Pachamama, and
Yes.
that's not right relationship. In short, what you're saying and doing and embodying is of such importance to us now. How do you feel the messages that you are bringing forward are being received?
Well, let's think about that. We are in constant transition. We live always in transition, but this time this transition is very big because we are finishing a big era, the long account of the Mayan-Toltec Olmec and Toltec calendar ended in 2013. Now we are almost 13 years later. In
Yes.
2026, we are going to begin the new accounting after 13 years of, let's say, of cleansing, of um, reconnecting. So the messages now are being heard more than before, is what we feel, because we have been participating in so many fora, international fora, and we can see how until now the newspapers, the programs, the radios are trying to bring uh, native spiritual leaders to, especially from original nations and peoples,
Mm-hmm.
to deliver these messages. So it's not fast, and it shouldn't be fast, but it should be just the intention that we are delivering these messages. So humanity remembers where we come from, the origins, the ancestors, the ancestral ways of living. It's not that we want to go back and live in the caves, but how we respect life, how we are in front of other species. As you were saying, you know, many people think that we are the peak of the creation, and we are not. We are just another species. Actually, an species that we have misbehaved so much with others. And we need to rethink our, our place in the world. We need to rethink what humanity means. Because the word humanity is so beautiful, it's so powerful. We need to regain that dignity as human beings in a collective way. Because sometimes the ego, this anthropocentric way of thinking, is, is betraying us, is killing life. So, in the way that we are delivering the messages, is that we want to live with this planet, with, not from. and that changes everything.
It really
When
does.
when
Una
you live with
preposición changes everything, right?
changes everything,
Yeah, it does.
changes everything, and then you can bring harmony, balance to the world, and problems like climate change and this the stress that we live in the cities, it can be really faced in such a way that we can come back home and meet our responsibilities. What are those responsibilities? Responsibilities to really give care for life, for the flourishing of life, because it's so beautiful, this life. It's a marvelous experience to be here in this world. It's,
Really
it's
true.
amazing.
You know, you reminded me, Mindahi, of an article actually that I just finished. You used the word anthropocentric, and my article is called Anthropocentrism and Naturocentrism. I may have made that word up. I'm not really sure. The second one. Um, but the idea is, of course, that we're not looking at the world simply through our own eyes,
Mm.
egoically, but rather through the eyes of nature herself, of Mother Nature. And if we do
Mhm.
that, our mind, our brain, and our hearts all at the same time expand and we become literally what all the great teachings from all time say. You become one with everything, you know?
Yes, yes. So we call this unity in the diversity.
Yeah,
And what a beauty is when you see, for example, the rainbow, because the rainbow represents that sacred covenant between the sky and the earth. And that's the manifestation of the beauty. But if a color in the rainbow is lacking, there is no rainbow.
that's right. You
So
know, it's so
that's
true. It's so true,
so diversity is the most beautiful manifestation of mystery and life. So that's why we think that now that we are calling from the east to the west, we have expanded this council from the council of the seven, Grand Council of the Eagle and the Condor.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are 13. These seven plus six representing each other continents and the islands of the Pacific Islands.
Oh,
But in the
yeah.
third phase, we're going to expand to 52.
Oh,
52. Why 52? Because there are 52 biocultural regions in the world, main regions.
yeah.
And, and they are also in connection with the sacred sites. Why are they so important? Because the sacred sites is the place where this special energy is produced. So all life
Vortexes.
is possible. Yes. So this energy that we don't see but we feel is
Yeah.
produced in those special places. And we need to
Totally.
honor them. We need to protect them.
Yeah. I've been to Sedona many, many times. I've been also to Machu Picchu
Mhm.
at the time of the harmonic convergence, if you remember that. I think it was August 15th, 1987, when I was a wee lad. And
Mhm.
there was a group of us that came from the United States for ceremony
Mhm.
on that sacred land. So I really do know what you're referring to. Could you talk a little bit, Mindahi, to our audience about the very well known story about the eagle and the condor so people really get a clearer sense of that?
Yes.
Because it's a very sort of increasingly dominating story of importance as
Yes.
we move along here.
Yes, it has become popular, and many people follow the prophecy.
True.
But the prophecy is following us.
That's an interesting way of thinking. Yes. It's been done.
Yes,
También.
because it's reciprocity, is
Yeah,
beyond mind reciprocity is spiritual, also reciprocity.
right.
So
That
the
makes
eagle and
sense.
the condor, the eagle and the condor prophecy talks about the time when the people from the north and the south, especially original peoples and nations, were going to come together once again. Due to colonization, due to um, the establishment of the nation states and what we now know the countries, before there was a big communication from east to west and especially from north to the south. People were together,
Yeah,
were living in harmony, in balance with all beings in past life
yeah,
before, especially here in this continent and Africa and other continents. But we are going to talk about, especially the Americas, because it was more than 500 years ago when the first Europeans, colonizers arrived. And then this relationship, the relationship, the exchange was disrupted. And then everything became difficult. Languages began to fade and disappear, cultures,
culture.
languages, and so on and so forth.
Reservation schools.
Yes, so all of that, and it impacted so much in the original nations'
Yeah.
lives. So the prophecy says that there's going to be the time to come the time when the people from the south and the north were going to come together once again. And in this unification process, in this call for unity, they were going to call all humanity to bring together this energy, this sense of belonging, this sense of exchange, but this exchange in a very beautiful way, in such a way that we remember that we are a human family. So this, the
Uno,
ego,
familia.
la
Uno.
familia. So the ego side, which is the vision of what we can carry out during this time and space, especially during the history of this time and space. But also the condor, which is another sacred animal,
Hmm.
is another animal that flies in the sky, but also transmutes, transcends beyond life and death. So they teach us how we can carry out anything in our lives. So we also respect ancestral ways of living, ancestral wisdom. So we once again become one into the diversity.
Oh,
So that's the beauty of the prophecy.
muy bonita. Gracias. That's so really heartfelt, and I really appreciate it. I'm thinking that as I'm listening to you, I'm looking around at the world we live in today and all of the different conflicts and tensions amidst the beauty. So, as there is diversity in unity, so too there is chaos and conflict inside peace.
Mm-hmm.
It's another kind of seeming polarity, but they
Mm-hmm.
live together, crazy as it sounds. So I'm thinking, and one of the joys I'm having right now with you, Mindahi, has to do with your representing this long lineage of beings who have been so dedicated to honoring Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama. And that is the first relationship, if you will. And today, that in Western culture, that's been removed. And we're very much in a micro focus on what's going on with the political environment and the way it's encroaching on our ability to come and go and express ourselves and give
Mm-hmm.
voice to what we feel is so important. And in listening to you and being with you here, and I know we're part of the evolutionary leaders circle as well. So it's
Yes.
another one of our families that we
Mm-hmm.
get to hang out with, people of
Yes.
similar mind and heart. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really reminded beautifully that the story is a long one. It's not a short one. We've been here
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, the native peoples especially. And if we stay tuned in to nature and the longer arc of our humanity and history, what's going on right now is sort of a little bit of a blip on the screen, if you will. It's a moment in time. And it too, as the great teaching says, it too will pass. So I just wanted to share that with you and get any feedback you may have
Yes.
on that idea.
You know, it's like the dance of life. There is day and night, and in between.
Yeah.
And in between is mystery. So this long night is about to end, and we know it. Of course, there's going to be adjustments,
Mm-hmm.
and the prophecy of the eagle and the condor comes along with the prophecy of the new dawn, which is similar
Mm-hmm.
because the new dawn is about to raise consciousness, not just about human consciousness, but especially this planet, this Mother Earth, is also transcending to another level. It's not just about us.
Right.
It's about us, but it's more about this planet because this planet nurtures us, give us all who we are. Who we are without this planet, we are nothing. But who we are because of this beautiful planet.
That's right.
Everything that we wear, what we eat, what we see comes from this beautiful planet. How we treat this beautiful planet. How do we treat our mothers? How do we treat our fathers? So the new dawn tells us that we need to reconnect. Now is the time for regeneration, for rethinking our place in the world and behave,
Yeah.
and mostly with responsibility, respect, and reconnection.
Beautiful. It's just so true. It's so true. I believe that the vibrations that come from those sentiments, those feelings, because our hearts are so intelligent
Mhm.
and they emanate outward, that the more we fill our space, our environment with those feelings of love and brotherhood and connection, uh, it is part of the transformation you're talking about and the transcendence that
Mhm.
will also help the planet rise to its own next level of
Yes,
evolution
yes.
cosmically, you know. So it, as we
Mhm.
have our own, say, hierarchies on Earth, so Earth herself has a place in the larger cosmos. It's all
Yes,
happening simultaneously. So, comments about that?
yes. Mother Earth got also family. We are the children,
Right.
but what we call father son, the sun,
And Mother Earth.
Grandma Moon, and Venus, and other celestial bodies. They are family, and they are our family as well. If we live in the cycles of life, in these cycles of life that teach us how to live
Yeah.
in not just in harmony, but in reverence, in deep respect and responsibility. And we also need to relearn how to live in the cycles of the moon, in the cycles of Venus,
Yeah.
when to put the seeds, when to
Yeah.
pick up, and all that what it's about the dance of life.
Exactly.
And that's the reason music, dances, languages, flavors, colors, and the beauty of life can allow us to live with happiness.
That's right.
And happiness is inherent to the human beings, but we just need to remember that we have that energy. And we have been thinking about how we can bring back that joy for children and how we can bring back that joy for elders and for anyone who
All
wants to
of us.
reconnect.
Nosotros.
For any, para todos nosotros, for anyone, for
Todo.
everybody.
That's right. You know, in Jewish tradition, also a very old one, and one that I happen to have been born into, there's a phrase, Mindahi, that says that it is a human being's obligation to be happy.
You see?
Not just
Yeah.
be nice. No, it's an obligation. Obligación es
Sí,
más
obligación.
profunda.
Yeah.
It's deeper than wouldn't it be nice? No, no, no. It's our
Yeah.
heartfelt
It's
soul's
yeah.
obligation to be
Yeah.
happy and also to love and be kind.
Yes, and that's the reason I say it's inherent.
Yes,
We just
exactly.
forget.
It's
We
like
just
our
forget
nature.
our responsibilities. It's a responsibility.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have to meet our responsibilities and then we can share that joy with others that are sometimes suffering and we can bring that balance. And that's what we call the transcendental equity.
Oh, nice phrase. Nice
Yeah,
phrase.
because it goes beyond and backwards. And that's the existence itself.
That's right.
So that's how we relate to the mystery. And mystery is the energy that is shown even in the most difficult times.
Yeah.
Even in the most difficult times, because we pass through difficult times, everybody. But how we can bring light, how we can bring that joy to others. That's the most beautiful thing we can give to others and receive. And that's when reciprocity as a natural law
Yeah.
comes into action
Really true.
in a continuum,
Yeah.
in a
The give
continuum
and
way of,
take, the give and receive,
yes,
sharing, breaking bread. I mean, it's so natural. You know, Joseph Campbell, who's a famous comparative mythologist and scholar, uh, talked about an incident that happens in New York and everywhere, where he puts out this idea that if two people are standing on the sidewalk ready to cross the street
hmm,
and a bus and they're strangers, they don't know each other, and a bus is coming very quickly on the street and one person starts to walk out into the street, immediately by impulse the other stranger will grab the other person and pull them back, risking
yeah,
their own lives.
that's very
Now,
right.
what is that phenomenon if you really kind of deconstruct that and look at the essence of it? What you see is that we are one, and there
Yes,
is a part of us that is stepping into danger, and that part of us that is not in danger works to bring the other one to safety.
yes. So it means that we need to go back to the basics and deconstruct all what we have learned to put us apart, but to become in unity.
That's right. That's right. Now, you mentioned earlier, you made reference to the calendars, the
Yes,
Toltec. And
the
could
ornaments. Yeah,
you, just in our last few minutes, could you give us an idea of where we are in the calendars? And I've followed, the Mayan calendar to some
yeah,
extent
yeah,
over the years. In fact, that's what it was the work of Jose Arguelles in his work on the Mayan calendar that had his interpretation, I should say, that brought
yeah.
a group of us to Machu Picchu for harmonic convergence, in his book.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I
love
must
to
say
know
that
more about that.
the original calendars, of course, Arguelles and other scholars interpreted, and they brought these interpretations in the correlations of the calendars
Mm-hmm.
in such a way that they were close to the original ones. The original ones are even more deeper because it has to do with leap year that it doesn't exist in the Maya calendars. It's
Right.
just ritually you adjust to the quarter of the day every year. So
It's
the
also
day,
lunar, right?
yeah, also lunar and solar, but the day doesn't begin in the same hour. The day begin sometimes at midnight. The next year is going to begin at sunrise. Next year is going to begin at noon. Next year is going to begin at dawn. And next year is going to begin again at midnight. So, so the four characters of the day, they are taken into consideration. So there is no need for another day or the leap year every some
Yeah,
years.
right. Every whatever
So,
4 years or
so
something.
May 3rd, 2013 ended the long account of the Mayan Otomi-Toltec calendar. And we have 13 years of, let's say, of rest, 13 years of cleansing, 13 years of becoming aware that we are passing through another era. So it's been accounting like the fifth sun eras have ended. Now we are passing through the, let's say, the sixth sun era, but actually it's going to be again the first sun, and it has to do with May 3rd, 2026. So we have 1 year, very difficult year. This one, very difficult, and all of these
Yeah.
13 years have been difficult, but we are passing, and it depends on us how we are going to pass. Because as one of my brothers from the ancestral Shinto is telling me when we exchange, it depends on us how we're going to encounter this new era. It's like an analogy, like if we were flying in an airplane, it's going to be a land crashing, a bumping landing,
Mm-hmm.
or a soft landing. But in this case, because we are all connected, is going to be, in our view, what we have been seeing is that it is going to happen, the three of them. For some, it's going to be a crash landing. For some, it's going to be soft landing, and for others, bumping landing. So, but we are going to all to feel that. We are feeling now very extreme things as we are interconnected. Whatever happens over there is affecting us, positive or negative. So the calendars are telling us that we need to live in the cycles of life. We need to live no faster, not slower than the cycles of life, but to be mindful.
Beautiful. Es muy verdad. And leaving our wonderful conversation that I so deeply appreciate with the connection to cycles, which is as happiness is inherent to us, so
Yes.
cycles are inherent to nature,
Yes.
right?
That's
So
very right.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Muchas gracias, amigo.
Gracias. Poke kamadi. Kamadiki.
So appreciate you, the work you're doing, upholding the wisdom of the wisdom keepers. So I just wish you the best. We will put on a link so people can help to support you and your good work as well.
Thank you so much, Michelle, and to your program and to your audience.
Beautiful. Gracias por todo. This is Mitchell J. Rabin for A Better World. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It's a connection back to nature, Mother Nature, and our own nature. So we really are grateful to Mindahi and the wisdom that he carries forward at this incredibly important point in our history and our future. So thanks for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Beautiful, my friend.